Are you aware that the UK's economy is in a catastrophic crisis? A crisis that seems to be worsening by the day? Now you might be thinking, surely it can't be that bad, or perhaps you're wondering, how did we get here? Well, let's delve into the unseen crisis that's silently but swiftly engulfing the UK. Picture a once vibrant economy, now caught in a maelstrom of financial downturn. The pound sterling, once a bastion of stability, now fluctuating with uncertainty. Businesses, large and small, grappling with unseen challenges, their survival hanging in the balance. The UK, a nation known for its resilience and fortitude, is now facing an economic crisis of unprecedented scale. The numbers, which we'll delve into later, paint a grim picture. A picture of a nation grappling with an economic downturn that's not only jeopardizing its financial stability, but also threatening the livelihoods of millions. Yet this crisis remains largely unseen. It's not making the front-page headlines or the primetime news. It's a silent crisis, unfolding behind closed doors in boardrooms and households alike. It's a crisis that's easy to overlook if one doesn't know where to look. But why is this crisis so elusive? Why is it not being talked about as much as it should be? What are the forces at play? And more importantly, what are the implications for the people of the UK and the world at large? These are the questions we'll be exploring throughout this video. We'll be peeling back the layers one by one to reveal the truth behind the UK's economic crisis. So prepare yourself for a journey into the heart of the UK's economic turmoil. A journey that will take you beyond the surface, beyond the headlines, and into the very fabric of the UK's economy. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this economic crisis that is silently but swiftly engulfing the UK. The UK's economic crisis is not an overnight occurrence. The seeds were sown years ago. Let's journey back in time to when the first cracks began to appear in the UK's seemingly invincible economy. It was in the early years of the 21st century that we witnessed the first signs of trouble. The housing bubble, the credit crunch, the global financial crisis of 2008. These events were not isolated incidents. They were, in fact, an ominous foreshadowing of the economic turmoil that was to come. Over the years, the UK's economy faced multiple hits. One after another, like a relentless tide, these economic setbacks began to erode the foundations of the country's financial stability. The austerity measures imposed in the aftermath of the 2008 crisis, for instance, were a double-edged sword. Yes, they did help control the budget deficit, but at what cost? The public sector was starved of funds, public services suffered, and the economy stagnated. Then came the Brexit vote in 2016. The decision to part ways with the European Union sent shockwaves through the economy. Uncertainty reigned supreme, businesses held back investments, consumers tightened their purse strings, and the pound took a nosedive. To add fuel to the fire, the global pandemic hit. The economic fallout from COVID-19 was nothing short of catastrophic. Businesses shuttered, unemployment soared, and the government's debt skyrocketed as it grappled with the health crisis. Each of these events left a lasting imprint on the UK's economy. They weakened its resilience, made it vulnerable to shocks, and set the stage for the crisis we are witnessing today. The dominoes had been set up, and it was only a matter of time before they started falling. Numbers don't lie, especially when it comes to the economy. They are the cold, hard truth that we must face, even when they tell a tale of despair, as is the case with the UK's economic crisis. The UK's economy has been in a freefall, and the numbers are there to prove it. Unemployment rates have skyrocketed in recent years. Thousands upon thousands of people have found themselves jobless, their livelihoods snatched away almost overnight. It's not just about the numbers, it's about the individuals, the families, the dreams that have been shattered. Let's talk about GDP, the gross domestic product, the total value of everything produced by all the people and companies in the country. It's been on a downward spiral, dropping significantly. This isn't just a slight dip, it's a plunge. It's a sign of a country in economic distress, a sign of an economy that's shrinking, not growing. Inflation, too, has been on the rise, and it's not a slow climb. Prices are shooting up while incomes are not keeping pace. The cost of living is increasing and the standard of living is falling. People are finding it harder and harder to make ends meet, to put food on the table, to pay their bills. The country's debt, too, has been ballooning. The UK has been borrowing heavily to try and stimulate the economy, to try and pull it out of this crisis. But all this borrowing is just piling on more debt, creating a mountain that the country will have to climb in the future. And then there are the other economic indicators. Indicators like business confidence, consumer confidence, manufacturing output, all painting a bleak picture of the UK's economic health. They all tell the same story, a story of an economy in turmoil, an economy in crisis. The numbers paint a grim picture of the UK's economic health. They show the harsh reality of the economic crisis that the UK is facing. But they also serve as a wake-up call, a call to action, because numbers don't just tell a story, they also guide us towards solutions. They show us where we are so we can figure out where we need to go. Behind every economic statistic is a human story. In the face of the UK's catastrophic economic crisis, it's easy to get lost in the sea of numbers and figures, but let's not forget, behind each of these figures, there's a human story. A story of struggle, of resilience, of hope, and sometimes of despair. Take, for instance, the story of a small business owner in London. A family-owned bakery that's been serving fresh bread for over 3 decades is now on the brink of closure. The economic downturn has hit them hard, with reduced customer footfall and increased costs. They're not just fighting to keep their business afloat, they're fighting to preserve a legacy. Or consider the story of a single mother in Birmingham who was laid off from her job due to company-wide cost cuttings. She's juggling between finding a new job and ensuring her children don't miss out on their education. These stories are not isolated incidents. They reflect the struggles of thousands of individuals across the UK. This crisis has also exacerbated the existing social issues. The gap between the rich and the poor has been widened further. The lower income groups, who are already living paycheck to paycheck, have been hit the hardest. The number of people relying on food banks has skyrocketed. The crisis has pushed many into poverty, and the dream of social mobility seems more elusive than ever. But in the midst of all this hardship, there have been stories of resilience and community spirit, neighbors helping neighbors, communities coming together to support those in need. It's a testament to the indomitable spirit of the people, a beacon of hope in these trying times. Remember, the economic crisis is not just about the GDP or the stock market. It's not just about fiscal policies or trade deficits. It's about the baker, the single mother, the unemployed youth, the struggling pensioner. It's about the people who go to bed worried about their future and wake up each morning to fight another day. The economic crisis is not just about numbers and data. It's about people and their lives. The UK's economic crisis doesn't just affect the UK. It has far-reaching implications for the global economy. As the world's 5th largest economy, the United Kingdom plays a substantial role in the global market. The recent economic downturn has not only caused ripples, but waves that are felt far beyond its borders. When the UK's economy sneezes, the world feels the chill. International trade is the lifeblood of the global economy. The UK, with its extensive trade networks, is a significant player. From Tokyo to New York, the UK's economic crisis is causing disruptions in global supply chains. Businesses worldwide are feeling the pinch as they grapple with uncertainties and changes in trade regulations. The global markets, too, are not immune. The UK's financial sector is a global hub, and its economic instability sends shockwaves through stock markets worldwide. Investors are wary, stock prices fluctuate, and economic forecasts grow gloomier by the day. This level of uncertainty can trigger a domino effect, leading to a worldwide economic slowdown. And let's not forget about foreign relations. The UK's economic crisis is shaping its relations with countries around the globe. The crisis has altered the dynamics of the UK's relationship with the European Union and the United States, among others. The negotiations, the diplomacy, the tensions, they are all fraught with the undercurrents of this economic crisis. In the grand scheme of things, economic crises do not respect borders. They cross oceans, transcend national interest, and affect us all, directly or indirectly. The world is more interconnected than ever before, and the UK's crisis is a stark reminder of this fact. So when we talk about the UK's economic crisis, we are not just talking about one nation's struggle. We are talking about a global issue that requires global solutions. The UK's crisis is a global crisis. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel for the UK's economy? It's a question that looms large as we delve into the potential solutions and strategies for economic recovery. The road to recovery, as any seasoned economist will tell you, is not a straight path. It's a winding road filled with hairpin turns, uphill climbs, and sometimes even a few roadblocks. So, what might the UK's road to recovery look like? For starters, it could involve a robust stimulus package aimed at reviving the sectors that have been hit the hardest. Think of it as a jumpstart, a necessary push to get the engine of the economy running again, but that's just the beginning. The UK will also need to focus on long-term strategies to strengthen its economic resilience. This could include diversifying its economic portfolio, investing in new emerging sectors, and enhancing its technological infrastructure. Yet, the challenges are equally formidable. The UK is grappling with the fallout of Brexit, which has added another layer of complexity to the recovery process. The ongoing global pandemic continues to be a wildcard, disrupting supply chains and causing economic uncertainty. And let's not forget the social impact. The economic crisis has deepened inequality, increased unemployment, and strained public services. Addressing these issues will be crucial to ensuring a sustainable recovery. Perhaps the most significant challenge, however, is the uncertainty. Economies are like complex ecosystems influenced by a myriad of factors both at home and abroad. Predicting exactly how these factors will play out is a difficult task, even for the most seasoned economists. Yet, despite these challenges, the UK is not without hope. The country has a rich history of resilience and innovation. It has weathered economic storms before, and it can do so again. The road to recovery is long and fraught with challenges, but it is a journey that the UK must undertake. So what are the key takeaways from the UK's economic crisis? Firstly, it's crucial to recognize the enormity of this situation. The UK's economy didn't merely stumble or falter, it plunged into a catastrophic downfall. This crisis wasn't a small blip on the radar, but a seismic shift that sent tremors across not only the UK, but the entire world. Secondly, the causes of the crisis are multifaceted and complex. It wasn't simply a matter of one misstep or miscalculation. It was a perfect storm of factors, including policy decisions, global market forces, and unexpected events, all colliding at once. Understanding these causes isn't just about pointing fingers, but about learning from the past to safeguard the future. Thirdly, the human impact of this crisis cannot be overstated. Beyond the numbers and the economic jargon, there are real people enduring real hardship. Jobs have been lost, businesses shuttered, and lives upended. The toll of this crisis reaches far beyond the financial sector, touching every corner of society. Fourthly, the global implications of the UK's economic crisis are profound. This isn't simply a domestic issue. The UK's economic health influences global markets, international relations, and even the stability of other nations. The ripple effects of this crisis are felt around the globe. Lastly, the road to recovery isn't a straightforward path. It will require time, effort, and significant policy changes. But with diligence, resilience, and a commitment to economic stability, the UK can emerge from this crisis stronger and more resilient. The UK's economic crisis is a wake-up call for all of us, a reminder of the fragility of our global economy. The UK's economic crisis is a complex issue with no easy solutions. Like a multi-layered puzzle, it's filled with variables, each holding a piece of the story. The unseen crisis, the fall of the economy, the revealing numbers, the human impact, the global implications, the road to recovery, and our key takeaways. Each layer unraveled exposes another facet of the problem, a new perspective to consider. From the financial figures that quantify the crisis to the individual stories that humanize it, we are presented with a rich tapestry of information. Yet, these threads are woven together in a way that is anything but simple. Our understanding is constantly evolving as we delve deeper into the crisis. With every new piece of information, our perspective shifts and our understanding grows. It's a process that demands our engagement and critical thinking. It challenges us to question our assumptions and to look beyond the surface. In this era of information overload, staying informed is more important than ever. The choices we make, the policies we support, and the actions we take are shaped by our understanding of the issue at hand. And in the face of a crisis as significant as the UK's economic downturn, our engagement can make a world of difference. But let's not forget, this is not just about understanding the crisis. It's about finding a way forward. It's about making decisions that will shape the future of the UK's economy. This journey may be challenging, filled with uncertainty and difficult choices. But as we grapple with the UK's economic crisis, let us remember that the choices we make today will shape the economy of tomorrow.